Alright, let's get on Death Tram 2000.
Departing Central Station. Destination, Rift Station.
I'm sure it's safe. What could go wrong? It's just the center of an outbreak and it's full of geth. And it has Asari commandos that are working for an invading force of some kind.
Now arriving at Rift Station.
And there's 3 of us.
Helix Research Facility.
So I think we're set. Literally nothing but success could happen from here on out. And there's not even a risk. Not even threats. Everything's A-okay. We're doomed. Anyone here? Come on out. I don't like surprises. I might shoot them in the face. Nope. Well, that's closed. So unless we can hack it... Yeah, emergency exit only. So we really have one option here. So there's the Hot Labs we've heard about. It literally is a beaker on fire, is the icon for the Hot Labs. And the 909. Whoops. I tried to open it. Just got off a tram, now it's time for an elevator. Listen, Mass Effect likes to have travel time. Mostly because I had to hide a lot of loading screens. I think these kind of went away eventually, too. Hey, humans that aren't shooting me immediately. And Turians.
Stand down.
Hi. Good day.
Sorry, we couldn't be sure what was on the tram.
Can those things work at train's controls?
Hell if I know. I'm not assuming any goddamn thing. Look, you're human and that's enough that I won't shoot, but I'd like to know who you are.
My name's Shepard. I'm a Spectre.
Huh. I won't look a heavily armed horse in the mouth. The aliens overran the Hot Labs last week. Only Han Olar got out, and he ain't all there anymore. The first we knew, the bastards were clawing into my command post. We had a lot more staff then.
You were taken by surprise and had civilians to protect. You did a good job, Captain.
Yeah? Sure as hell doesn't feel like it. The board sent an Asari to clean up the mess. She went to the Hot Labs yesterday. We haven't heard from her since.
Benezia. Is she still over there?
I don't know. I don't see what one person could do.
A matriarch has the skill to keep herself alive for a long time.
There's an emergency elevator out by the trams. This card will let you activate it. Can take you down to the Hot Labs. Oh, and if you need any first aid, Dr. Cohen's downstairs in the med bay.
You're certain the Matriarch is still in the Hot Labs?
She hasn't come back here. You came through Central Station, so she ain't there.
Did the aliens come from inside the facility, or did they attack from the outside?
You want my personal opinion? Labs like that exist to do stupid crap that gets people killed.
Tell me about the structure of the Hot Labs.
It's built into one of the glaciers further down the mountain. Real old, thick, stable one. Something goes wrong, they heat it up and sink it into the ice. Normally, the crew gets to the labs using a tram from Central Station. We've got an elevator that connects directly, but it's for emergency use only. Listen. I'm not sending my people down there. It's too dangerous. You understand?
How are your people holding up?
We weren't expecting the initial wave. They made it inside. We lost some good people. Those of us left are short-handed. We've kept order by long shifts and stems. I don't like it, but I don't see an alternative.
Tell me about Rift Station.
I can't talk about everything. What do you need to know?
Tell me about the defenses here.
Secure enough that you shouldn't poke in corners.
I just wanted to offer some deployment advice. You're lucky these things are dumb animals. 3 coordinated guys could take this place.
Have you checked the layout yet? Easily defensible by a few people. That's not counting the automated defenses.
Automated defenses can be overridden.
What impresses me most is the turrets, alarms, and cameras. They're all routed through a central location out by the quarantine labs. One guy can lock down the whole facility. The security hub's the last logical fallback, and we'd have cover from the turrets all the way.
What kind of research is done here?
Beats me. I'm not supposed to know. So long as people don't start dying, it's not my problem.
What can you tell me about the aliens?
Ask Dr. Olar. He's the only one who made it out of the Hot Labs. He's the only Volus left in here.
I need to know more about the situation in the Hot Labs.
The facility's off the network. The only way to find out would be to send scouts down the elevator, and I won't send my people to their death.
I've got work to do.
Yeah, I hear that. Hell! Man the perimeter!
Go! Under attack. Where are they? Blow them right to hell. Knock back. There we go. That went nicely. Any more?
Thanks for the help. Every few hours, a group comes up the tram tunnel. It's actually better since we locked down the elevator.
They always attack here? It's an obvious kill zone.
Their only other option is over the mountain and down through the ducts, and they freeze like everyone else. I don't know why they keep throwing themselves against our defenses. Even animals should learn not to stick their noses where it hurts.
That's a good point. So then what were they doing in that lab then, if they've apparently created monsters that just throw themselves into suicide kill zones? Because he makes, like, an intelligent person would have decided not to attack that position, but he's making the point that even animals would have stopped by now. So it must have something to do with the research itself or what's going on in the hot labs. Every time I think the door is going to be the last one, there's more. Alright, here's where all the actual people are being kept then. The surviving scientists.
Where did they come from? Were they in the lab? I never went in the high security areas.
You're not going to go to the hot labs, are you?
So she's called a sick scientist. What makes her sick exactly?
What?
You seem less upset about this situation than the others.
That is one of the virtues of the meditation you interrupted.
Oh, we're off to a good start then, aren't we?
Do you know Matriarch Benezia?
Why ask me and not your friend?
Because I do not know anything about the Matriarch.
Then why would I?
You're a member of the science teams.
Recently transferred, yes.
What do you do here?
Molecular genetics. I specialize in biotic-enhanced allele-specific hybridization.
Yeah, that's a bit technical for me.
I am very good at tracking inherited variations in genetic sequences. I'm sure you would find it quite dull.
Tell me about yourself.
I am Alestia Ialis from the University of Arraeus. Is there anything in particular you want to know, or should I just spout random facts?
Did I interrupt something?
I was meditating. I suppose to a species as brash as yours, it would appear to be inattention.
Sorry, I'll leave.
Well, that went nowhere.
I will return to my meditation.
I was pointlessly disruptive. Hooray!
Uncertain, I welcome you. Cautiously, I am curious to know what you're doing here.
I heard there were some problems up here.
Furtively, I am concerned about the state of our guards. Many have been awake for days. For now, with forced cheer, I still have a limited supply of equipment to sell.
This doesn't seem like the time for commerce.
With nervous amusement, I have nothing else to do. Why not continue to run my kiosk?
Let's have a look.
Regretfully, most of my stock is being appropriated by Captain Ventralis.
I'm always amused by this, is when BioWare insists on explaining this stuff, because a lot of video games would just throw a store at you in the middle of a crisis situation, but you would literally just click on a guy and a store would pop up, so there wouldn't be any question about it. Hey, another license. But with BioWare, they're like, no, we have to explain exactly what's going on here. So like they always have to have some sort of humorous conversation about why somebody's selling stuff when it seems wrong for it to be even a buy and sell situation. Hey, +1 metagel. That's a flat upgrade that's worth grabbing, I believe. That's a 17% tech cooldown bonus. I think it's percentage, but I'm not entirely sure, honestly. Oops. That just kicks you all the way out.
Let's have a look.
Regretfully,
Let's see, light armor. I'm curious. 12, 119, 30. So same damage protection, but a decent chunk of extra shield and tech protection. Oh, it's really expensive. Like, really expensive. Oh yeah. They have generally costly items here. Ooh. The biotic amp might not be a bad idea. Ah. Not as much of a net as I'd hope for. It's about 7 bonus points overall, but it costs half my overall money. Get some duration, but you lose some power. I would like to just get drops, hopefully, instead. Let's see. I've got so many tier 1 items to get. I should just get rid of at this point. Holy crap, just the sheer number of duplicates. This is what this game's somewhat famous for, is how its inventory just feels like it just keeps going and 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 going. At some point, I actually don't even care that much whether or not I might be accidentally selling something useful, just because there's so many duplicates of it. The chances, like the fact that there's so many duplicates already, means that if I really need it, I'm probably gonna get another one on accident before then anyway. Alright, well, I have 37,000. It's good to do a little bit of maintenance every now and then, so I don't have to worry about being interrupted mid-run by finding out that, like, oh, you can't continue because you left your inventory. Oh, Jesus. You let your inventory max out. Dr. Palin, are you okay? Okay, he stopped. That was... Okay, now he's still freaking out a little bit.
What? No! Sorry, I haven't had much sleep since the attack. Yeah, is there something you need?
What do you do here?
I'm a toxicologist. I can't talk about my work. Not that I'm doing anything since the accident.
There was an accident here?
I can't talk about what happened. Not here. Too public. Talk to Dr. Cohen in the medical ward. He was the project lead.
A lot of the questions repeat, so I'm gonna avoid a lot of them, I think.
How are you holding up?
It would be petty to complain after showering off a coworker's brain. None of us have had enough sleep since the attack. Of course, not all of us have guns.
I'll talk to you later.
Remember to report any suspicious noises.
So Mass Effect 2 actually takes a more Dark Souls approach with its weapon design, and that it gives you unique weapons for that, I think, for the entire playthrough. So you'll periodically unlock new weapons that are completely new, or like straight up upgrades to your previous weapons, instead of getting 15 duplicates of the same weapon. It's an upgrade and a downgrade simultaneously. It's a bummer to get... There's an overall... I'm gonna get shot if I go there, aren't I? There's clearly nobody there to talk to, at least. It's an upgrade and a downgrade simultaneously, because it's cool to not have to deal with the horrifying inventory that this game had, but there's not enough weapons for it to be to feel like a full set. So instead of getting a decent variety of weapons, you kind of get like a couple of each type, and then the game's over.
Hang on. What do you want?
Were they attacked by the aliens?
They're suffering from a toxin. There was an accident. I have a non-disclosure agreement. I shouldn't discuss it with anyone outside of the company.
But you're going to, because I might be able to help.
And I'd like to think that the company finds our lives more valuable than their secrets. You know Mira, the VI for Peak 15? She handles the safety protocols for our experiments here.
We reactivated her on our way through Central Station.
That was you? I'm grateful. Until she came online, the automatic equipment wouldn't work. We lost the connection to Mira in the middle of an experiment and the quarantine failed. These three were exposed to a toxin, something we were working on.
I need full cooperation if I'm gonna help. Do you want these people to live? If not, I'll walk out of here.
No, wait. It's a bioweapon, based on an exotic life form discovered on the frontier. They wanted something that could kill the creature. But there was no profit in something that kills one species on the frontier. We kept working on it and adapted it to affect more species. Thoros B is highly infectious, but can't pass from one person to another, like a biowar attack without a pandemic spread.
Do you imagine that distinction makes this ethical?
Militaries, governments, they'll get this kind of weapon one way or another, and we're trying to limit the damage. I know you can't see that.
You made this, but can't cure it. Don't you people take notes?
Our first priority was getting it working. We were close to synthesizing an antidote when Mira went down. Our notes and equipment are locked in the quarantine labs. Captain Ventrolus doesn't want to risk more contamination.
Is he right to keep people out?
No, the toxin has a brief period of viability. After that, it breaks down into simple protein chains. But he won't listen to me.
I'll talk to him. Maybe I can convince him to let me try.
I can't ask you to do this officially, but if you can do anything, I'd appreciate it.
What will it take to get the cure for these people?
The quarantine labs are near the science team's quarters. Once you're in there, look for our notes. It should just be a matter of following our processes.
How's the science team holding up?
Better than Ventrolus' guards. They've been on alert since the first attack. I've been administering stims at their request. But every species needs to sleep. They're getting twitchy, irrational.
Are you the doctor here?
I'm our doctor, but not the doctor. My specialty is microbiology, not first aid. We had a medic, Dr. Salah, but we lost him. The automatics can handle basic treatment. Mira runs them.
Talk to you later.
I hope you can do something.
Now there's more lives on the line. A lot of people already died, and more of them are on their way. Place is a mess. Oh, a mirror terminal. Any new information?
This system is online and ready to provide emergency services.
Think you could run that equipment for us?
Certainly, Commander. One moment, please.
Oh, good for first aid? Surely somebody else could have done that already, right?
This system is online and ready to provide emergency services.
What are you doing over here?
I administrate the systems of all of the various Peak 15 facilities.
What treatments have been attempted?
I'm afraid treatment is not possible. An unknown toxin is present within the tissues of each patient.
What's wrong with these people?
Accessing logs. They were in the midst of an experiment when the shutdown began.
When you were taken offline.
Without my program to administrate containment procedures, a quarantine breach occurred.
We don't need anything right now.
Very well, Commander. Logging you out.
We need you to voice act sounds. You're just gonna grunt into the microphone and sound like you're someone who's in bed but can't get out of bed. Oh. I like to imagine the behind-the-scenes voice acting stuff going on, just because it's got to be an odd moment sometimes. All right, we can talk to Ventrolus for the quarantine. All paths kind of lead back to Ventrolus. Are there any other paths or things to do around here? There's obviously a thing they're guarding back here. There's a restricted area. There's no one explicitly guarding it. There's no notes about it, but clearly something's going on, and there's clearly some bad going down around there. If I don't get more answers, I might have to ask the other remaining guy. This is quarantine and barracks. This isn't where I came from, right? No, I think that was that door. So let's try over here. I think I'm getting the worst frame rate problems here out of anywhere in the game so far. I wonder if it's all the weird lighting systems that are everywhere. Where does this lead to? Interesting.
The sooner we're off this frozen world, the better.
I take it it's just an alternate elevator for accessing other parts of the level without going through the previous path. What about over here? The 909. Ooh, weapon locker. These. I know that it's an RPG trope just to grab stuff, but I guess contextually you could easily be like, oh yeah, Shepard found these people that are on the verge of dying, and they're horribly at risk, and they're fighting for their lives against an alien invader, and Shepard's taking their guns. Shepard just went back into one of their rooms in their armory and just started snatching their guns and ran off with them. There's never consequence. I never take it seriously because there's no consequences for it, and the video games never properly act like you're really doing it in person, but if this was real life, like, yeah, that would be like a serious issue to be just doing that in this context, or most contexts, really just grabbing people's weapons.
Something you need?
I've heard about the problems in the quarantine lab. I'd like to recover the toxin cure.
God, I wish we could help those guys. I really do, but we can't risk contamination now.
Dr. Cohen says there's no risk of contamination.
All right, you want to gamble with your life, you're not under my command. I'll have the guard let you in, but he'll lock the door behind you. He'll run a full scan before he'll let you out. If there are any anomalies, you stay in there.
If that's the only way you'll let us in, I agree.
I'll radio ahead to let the guard know. Good luck.
I've got work to do.
You and me both.
And so we've got our chance. Oh, got a little turned around there. Alright, so I think that's the locked door that was clearly covered in guns and sensors to not let anyone through. So if I talk to the guard in front of them, they'll let me through, and then I can try to find the cure for the contaminants, which means I can save the people that are in the sick bay, hopefully.
Got a smoke? We're all out.
Otherwise I'll have to shoot my way out, I guess. This is it, right? Just to be safe. Just to make sure I'm going the right way here. I guess I could check the journal. Make a cure. Is it on the map? Security. Yeah, the secure lab. So this seems to be the correct path for that. Where does this take me to? Quarantine lab. Oh. Tram. Let's double check then. Head to the quarantine lab. Whoops. This is the secure lab, which is something else. I'm trying to remember what the hell that is. Oh. I thought she was T-posed, but she was just stretching her gun out a little bit. I think I've gone down that path before and everyone starts shooting me, because I think they freak out if you go that way. Don't remember why, but there's clearly a bunch of red icons on the map indicating that it's hostile, so it was a good thing I double-checked. This is the path to the quarantine lab. Let's see if I can save some people, hopefully. And this is presumably completely different from the hot lab, where Benezia is supposed to be, and which is the alternate path that's currently locked up, I think. So are there any humans down here? Oh, it's the Volus. Han Olar. Hello.
You came to find out about them, didn't you?
And you would be?
I'm Olar. Han Olar.
I need to know more about those things out there.
About the Rachni?
Rachni? That's preposterous.
The Krogan wiped them out 1,000 years ago.
They found it in a derelict ship. An egg. Waiting since the last battles. They brought it here.
Shut up! God, you want to get us killed?
I don't have any control over who lives or dies here. Do you?
If you're gonna be crazy, be the quiet kind.
Crazy? I'm sane. God, am I sane.
Two funny things at once. One is, God! God, are you crazy? You're gonna get us killed! Shut up! God! Like, that voice acting just... Like, it fits fine, sure. But it's just something about that, like, Napoleon Dynamite use of the word God is just kind of funny. But this guy... I love the Volus, because their masks are so weirdly creepy and alien, and they look like, there's something about them that looks like the types of masks you see with, like, like Japanese spirits use in some cartoons and stuff like that. Like, something about the, like, no matter what they're saying, there's something weirdly alien and off-putting about how they speak, because it's coupled with that visual of their weird oddly shaped, highlighted mask with the white parts and everything, and then the two flat, glowing eyes that show no expression. So him staring off into space, going, "God, I am sane. I am sane." I'm like, this is weird. This feels weird, but it feels just as weird when they're being silly or vulnerable, like that one guy that thought that he was gonna get killed, so he was in C-Sec. Like, it always, the visuals of this creature's design is always amusing to me. They're not used very often throughout the franchise either, I don't think.
I need to know everything about the Rachni.
I told you all I can. We brought the Rachni back from the dead. In retrospect, a bad decision.
I heard you were at the Hot Labs. How did you make it out alive?
I killed her.
Who?
Doctors on Muir. We were going to lunch when the alarms went off. I ran into the tram, and I closed the doors. She banged on the window once, then they sliced her to pieces. Her head came apart like a melon. I closed the door. I killed her.
Tell me what you know. I'll make your survival mean something.
You think I want absolution? There is none.
Could Matriarch Benezia survive in the Hot Labs?
It's possible. The specimens were sensitive to biotics.
I'll be leaving now.
Yeah, we've been noticing that. You can't use tech powers against him necessarily, but a nicely located biotic attack just sends him flying. Sentinel's actually a pretty decent class to play for your main character, who's the one character you can't swap in and out of the party, because no matter who you're playing, you have something that works against machine enemies, and you have something that works against organic enemies, and so on. Back to robbing people. I remember messing these up a lot, but I'm not messing them up so far. This playthrough. I think when I first played this game, I was caught off guard by how narrow the window is for that quick time event. Like, it's surprisingly brief, and it's very easy to screw up, and then be like, oh well, I'm permanently screwed.
This one look at you. I used to have nightmares like this. Too many cheap horror vids before it lights out. Gotta keep the mood light. I mean, if you don't laugh, you'll... yeah, you just have to.
They're just over here losing their minds. I think in my first playthrough, I think I actually used to save before hacking, so that it wouldn't screw me over.
You're not part of the crew.
I have Ventralis' permission to go in there.
Yeah, he radioed. He also said you have to prove you're not contaminated to get out. You got a death wish? You should stand watches on the barricade.
It is a problem. Will I even have the means to prove that I'm not sick? Oh, look at that. This area behind us goes through some caves into the ventilation room and into the secure lab. It all loops around behind the area that I'm not allowed to go into right now. Yeah, there's the science station versus hot lab area. The tram. That all loops around behind there. Interesting. Don't know why there was a waypoint there. Anyway, about to go into a nasty place where bad things might happen. So let's save. Hooray! By the way, you'll notice this is like what? I've lost track a little bit. This is like part 10 or 11, and these are like hour-long episodes. Look at that time played. It's like 10 hours. Something that's really breezy about this playthrough is the fact that, like, Mass Effect doesn't really waste your time for the most part. Some of the really weird side quests can take a lot of time, but it's kind of refreshing from a recording standpoint, because I'm playing games like, say, Final Fantasy 15, where unless you're going to exclusively play the main story and nothing else, there's actually tons of downtime that needs to be edited out, of like slowly driving around and loading screens, and this is all going fast. I'm always doing something. It's kind of refreshing. Make cure. Press A to make cure. Pay respects. Oh. What? Oh, I was supposed to press it between the icons. That was really confusing at first, because I thought I was looking at a QuickTime event. Cure created. The idea that I had to mix the cure.
Your mission ends here, Shepard.
Oh, it's you.
We'll see about that, bitch.
What happened to Ventralis's man?
I didn't have permission to come in. He got in my way. I was ordered to eliminate you should the opportunity arise. And here you are, trapped in this lab. Weapons free!
Well, that was so nice of them to make me start off the quest facing the wrong direction. Huh. That went to shit for them really fast, didn't it? Turns out 3 biotics are a scary group. By the time I finished turning around, both of my party members had already started using their biotic powers. Everything in the room was just floating and going to shit. That was great. So you can tell that Liara, I think Liara used Singularity, which is a nasty thing to do in a small space because they're all standing next to each other. But I think Rex may have also used Lift or something, or someone may have used Lift. But yeah, everything just started floating around, including the boxes. They were screwed. Xenobiology database. Hey, codex entry about someone's biology. Research notes. We've isolated 4 chemicals that can be combined to counteract the toxin. They must be mixed in precise quantities, as each chemical is poured. The equipment will mark the minimum and maximum amount that will work. Too little or too much will spoil the result. So I think we're supposed to imply that I was doing that for a long time, mixing the chemicals, because she apparently had time to follow us here, kill everyone that was outside, and try to stop us all in one continuous go. Which seems like a bit much. Who's in here? These don't go anywhere, these are just cells. There we go. Wow. We're quickly stocking up on items. A med kit. Have I really been using these? Huh. I can try, but yeah, that's not going to do anything about her. Oh no, it did fix the poison, I think. There we go. And we're doing fine on our medikit count. That's a dead end. Just a couple of beds. So presumably he's dead out here. Is everyone dead out here? Or did he somehow only get one of them? What? How did you not raise a ruckus here? You just killed this one Quarian? I mean, sorry, Turian? How'd the Geth get in here? Do you guys have anything to say about the fact that Geth just came here?
They came out of there.
Okay, no, they saw it.
That door's locked. How can I get in?
A team lead would have access, like Dr. Cohen. He's in the medical bay.
How can I get into the maintenance area?
A team lead.
That's the same line of dialogue. Whoops.
I'll be leaving now.
Yeah.
So they came in through here, huh? It's locked? Oh yeah. So that's the back channels. That's how now we know how to find them.
I should have taken my vacation. No, I had to get those last few alleles nailed down.
We were running on batteries before the connection to Central was restored.
It could be worse, right? I could be one of those guys in the med bay.
They're about to get fixed up. It's fine. Don't worry about it. You're in good hands. Shepard hands. That's a weird sentence to say. I kind of like having everyone wear their helmets, yeah. I don't think I've ever done that before, to be honest. I don't know if I've ever properly noticed that there was a helmet toggle, but it just fits the situation. We're in a combat scenario. It helps create a more visual dynamic between being in a combat scenario versus walking around in a citadel or some presumably non-hostile environment, or being on the ship, for example. Although being on the ship has the additional detail where people tend to be... a lot of the characters tend to be standing around in their more passive clothes, as opposed to, their combat armor. So that creates a nice visual difference, too. Hey, buddy, we took care of everything for you. Hey.
Is that the cure? You did it?
That Asari scientist, the one in the mess hall? She just tried to kill us.
Alestia? That's unbelievable. I don't know much about her. She arrived a month ago. One of the shareholders pulled strings to get her here.
Let me guess. Saren the Spectre.
Yes. I think that was the name. I don't pay attention to the other research teams. Look, the guards, they've been more on edge since you got here. I think they were expecting you. And there are more labs in the back. The guards won't even let me back there. Just people with clearance.
What about the maintenance area? Do you have access to that?
The maintenance area? Yes. Take my pass. But there's just snow back there. Let me see that file. An extension on Phelps' work? I thought he was on the right track. I can't thank you enough that... Oh, God, what a cliché. You saved their lives. Do you know that?
That's what I'm here for. Forget about it.
I need to administer this. Thanks again.
There we go. We got something big there. We got access to where we need to go to figure out what the hell is going on behind the scenes here. And also, he has the ability to add the cure. Do I need to talk to Mira for that?
The system is online and ready to provide emergency.
Think you could run that equipment for us?
Certainly, Commander. One moment, please.
Will that make it all better, or is the question already resolved at this point? I mean, the quest already resolved. Yeah, quarantine's gone. Yay! All better. So we have a sealed maintenance area that gets us through a back door. That's one approach. Let's go for it. Actually, let's do our squad upgrades real quick. I can go into shotguns or further down other paths. Ooh, Unity. 20% health, 60% shields versus 15 to 40. That's not a bad idea. Otherwise, we do have this too. Master Overload, Advanced. Yeah, let's get both of these next level skills. Just makes sense to grab those next. 1 point. There it is. We've passed level 20, so now everyone levels more slowly as a result. Here we go. It still feels weird that she has electronics. All right, let's pump up her singularity radius a little bit. Where do we want to go with you? Keep going down assault rifles? Possible. Let's give you some throw force. And since I think I'm going into a combat scenario, let's make sure I'm using decent stuff. Ooh, more damage. I like more damage. I know there's other downsides, obviously, but pure damage is helpful. I feel like it's worthwhile to prioritize damage if you're playing with as a character who's going to largely use other attack styles. So I finally got a higher damage pistol, huh? By another 27. Because I'm interspersing my shots with powers and moving around and so on, I think I can get away with more time spent. I can get away with more damage and less shots per overheat and stuff like that because I'm not likely to shoot enough to overheat in the first place. And even if I do overheat, I will then immediately turn around and switch back to just... she just uses human armor. I'll just turn around and go right back to using powers again anyway. So at this point, we're going to go back in the quarantine labs. I can't remember if I've actually gone down this path or not before. But if I think I've accidentally tripped something by going that way in the past, and I think that pisses people off. But I don't know if I've taken the quarantine back path before. I think there's a few different ways to handle parts of this environment here, which is always a good sign. Generally, the whole game's good about having multiple solutions for most of the situations, even if it's just a minor diversion down different paths or something. I kind of like the color change too. Particularly like the elevators tend to be red and the hallways tend to be blue. It's just sort of a dynamic back and forth. It's kind of pointless. Like, it doesn't amount to much, but it just adds a little visual variety to the thing as you're making your way down hallways over and over again. Alright, let's go make a mess, probably. It was sealed off and the Geth came from here, and those aren't good signs for anyone. Anything down there? Nope. You guys keeping up? Liara? Liara? Where'd you go, Liara? Oh, there's a Rachni. He looks like he's just guarding. It's a strange visual. Liara? Where are you? Liara. What? How did we lose her? I'm hoping she'll just teleport sooner or later. The game can't just let her disappear forever, right? Seems kind of important. Oh, there she is. Seems kind of important that somehow there's apparently Rachni in the path that the Geth took to get to us. There's a lab. Where are we on the map? So we've gone through the back path. This is the secure lab, and that's somewhere around there is the locked door. No, that's on the other floor actually. Wait, what's the other elevator go to? Restricted area. Right. That's probably where I piss them off if I go through it. But this is something else. Hello. You seem important. I think this might be a really important location. Well, let's delve.
You do not know the privilege of being a mother. There is power in creation. To shape a life, turn it toward happiness or despair. Her children were to be ours, raised to hunt and slay Saren's enemies. I won't be moved by sympathy, no matter who you bring into this confrontation.
Liara's here because she's a member of my crew.
Indeed. What have you told her about me, Liara?
What could I say, Mother? That you're insane? Evil? Should I explain how to kill you? What could I say?
Have you faced an Asari commando unit before? Few humans have.
I can't believe you'd kill your own daughter.
I now realize I should have been stricter with her.
That's a great example of the enemies actually using biotic powers during cutscenes. She used stasis on me and that froze me solid for a bit. And now it's one versus many. Okay, that was the wrong phrasing entirely. One versus many, what am I talking about? Ah! Yeah, they all have biotics. Oh my god, my cover's flying. Problem. So she's tagging us with waves now. Not one to talk. She's apparently a callous, terrible person who is completely willing to obliterate her own daughter with very little provocation. Didn't exactly take her convincing. She didn't even try to convince her to not work with me. Not even like a moment of temptation of like, no, come to the dock side, Liara. Just no. Just straight to scumbaggery. Hello. I actually don't need barrier yet, and I'm not really under attack yet. Let's see. Don't think I need my powers. Hi there. Up in the air with you. One more down. Let's go ahead and heal. Oh. Stay away from those. So there's a purple Rachni in the chamber. I'm just trying to avoid the obvious problems there. With the explosions and stuff. Ah! Oh crap, they're just right here. Okay, hi. Sure. Singularity, please. It's so effective just to blast everything. I'm not really sure why summoning enemies is somehow part of her power level. That's a weird manifestation of her power. But sure. Ow. I used barrier and then I just got blasted. They have biotics too, unfortunately. Oopsie. Don't hang out by that. I don't know if I can hurt her directly, actually. Let's deal with their lackeys, primarily. One down. Two down. It's a good shotgun. It's a really good shotgun.
This is not over. Saren is unstoppable. My mind is filled with his light. Everything is clear.
So she's just crazy at this point. Great. That means we can really deal with her.
Start talking, Benezia. What's Saren's next move?
I will not betray him. You will. You must listen. Saren still whispers in my mind. I can fight his compulsions briefly, but the indoctrination is strong.
Why are you able to break free of his control now?
I sealed a part of my mind away from the indoctrination, saving it for a moment when I could help destroy him. It will not last long.
Are you saying he brainwashed you?
People are not themselves around Saren. You come to idolize him, worship him. You would do anything for him. The key is Sovereign, his flagship. It is a dreadnought of incredible size, and its power is extraordinary.
The ship that attacked Eden Prime? I didn't think anything that size could land on a planet.
It has a very powerful Mass Effect drive, but that is not Sovereign's true power. The longer you stay aboard, the more Saren's will seems correct. You sit at his feet and smile as his words pour into you. It is subtle at first. I thought I was strong enough to resist. Instead, I became a willing tool, eager to serve. He sent me here to find the location of the Mu relay. Its position was lost thousands of years ago.
How does something that big go missing?
4,000 years ago, a star nearby went supernova. The shockwave propelled the relay out of its system, but did not damage it. Its precise vector and speed are impossible to determine. As millennia passed, the nebula created by the nova enveloped the relay. It is difficult to find any cold object in interstellar space, particularly something swathed in hot dust and radiation.
Tell me where the Mu Gate is before I lose my temper.
Of course, Commander. I transcribed the data to an OSD. Take it, please.
Knowing the relay's coordinates is not enough. Do you know where he planned to go from there?
Saren wouldn't tell me his destination, but you must find out quickly. I transmitted the coordinates to him before you arrived. You have to stop me. I can't. His teeth are at my ear. Fingers on my spine. You should. You should.
Mother, don't leave. Fight him.
You've always made me proud, Liara. Die.
Well, shit. That's a bad moment. That's a bad moment. Let's overload. It's the best we can do. Oh crap, there's more of them? Oh crap, there is more of them. Crap. So she has a moment of clarity, and we get revealed what Saren's power is, which is that he has a ship called Sovereign that somehow controls your mind. Goody. So we don't even get to feel like we're on the right side half the time then, because anyone we kill may be someone that was perfectly innocent like recently, and may not be fully on board with what they're a part of right now.
I cannot go on. You will have to stop him, Shepard.
Hold on. We've got Metagel. Maybe we can...
No. He is still in my mind. I am not entirely myself. I never will be again.
Mother.
Good night, little wing. I will see you again with the dawn. No light. They always said there would be a...
They didn't make her, like, her death's not sad enough yet. Let's also make it where she realizes there's no heaven. Just to add that to the list.
This one serves as our voice. We cannot sing. Not in these low spaces. Your musics are colorless.
Yep, we're not done with Noveria yet. Corporate espionage on an ice planet leading to an alien outbreak with the Saren commandos and an AI core to repair where you bring a facility back on board. Then you have a virus outbreak and people holding out for the last hope. Then you have the reveal that the person you're coming after here, who's directly related to a party member that you just saved a moment ago, is being mind controlled. And just add to the list, now this is happening. It's a hell of a mission. Noveria's great.
We filled you with enough plasma to pop a tank.
This vessel is at the edge, yet she struggles. You cannot see her magnificence. We are breathing on the embers. We are the mother. We sing for those left behind. The children you thought silenced. We are Rachni.
Did you order your people to kill the science team?
No. We were locked away here. The children are beyond our songs. They have been lost to silence. The children we birthed were stolen from us before they could learn to sing. They are lost to silence. And their suffering, they cannot be saved. They will only cause harm as they are.
There we go. So the Rachni have a form of communication that they call their song. And apparently a bunch of them have been bred separate from the Queen, probably for the experiments, and as a result, they're not connected to the rest, like the Geth are, for example, the way that there's a neural net between them. They're isolated, and so they're kind of just mindless monsters, which is why they're so stupid, and just rushing dangerously straight into kill zones and stuff like that. And that's abnormal. If they were that stupid, they wouldn't evolve to the point they're at right now, unless they could just reproduce at such great numbers that it didn't matter.
I don't understand. Why are your children killing people?
These needlemen, they stole our eggs from us. They sought to turn our children into beasts of war, claws with no songs of their own. Our elders are comfortable with silence. Children know only fear if no one sings to them. Fear has shattered their minds.
I understand. A child left alone in a closet until she is 16 would not be sane.
You speaking from experience, Liara? Except the closet was space archaeology?
If you're sure they can't be saved.
It is lamentable, but necessary. Do what you must. Before you deal with our children, we stand before you. What will you sing? Will you release us? Are we to fade away once more?
There are acid tanks rigged up on that thing. Set them off. Millions of my ancestors died to put these things down. Don't let them come back.
They made a mistake. They let the Krogan go too far. This is a chance for us to atone. She has done nothing to us.
Your companions hear the truth. You have the power to free us, or return our people to the silence of memory.
Rex's reaction here is interesting because he himself is a member of a race that was deemed dangerous to the universe and is in the process of being wiped out. And yet, because this is a specific race that his group fought, he suddenly has the opposite stance. It's kind of a hypocrisy in a way, but it's informed by the fact that they're that he's a member of the exact group of people that fought against the Rachni, but he begrudges everyone else's behavior towards the Krogan, despite it being very similar.
If I let you live, would you attack other races again?
No. I do not know what happened in the war. We only heard discordance, songs the color of oily shadows. We would seek a hidden place to teach our children harmony. If they understand, perhaps we would return.
Are you a survivor from the war? A clone?
We do not know. We were only an egg, hearing Mother cry in our dreams. A tone from space hushed one voice after another. It forced the singers to resonate with its own sour yellow note. Then we awoke in this place, the last echo of those who came out from the singing planet. The sky is silent.
So here you go, you have an option. You take a potentially dangerous race and you free them to try to form a society again and see what happens, for good or ill, or you see them as a threat and you wipe them out right here and for good, forever. And no one will probably even know. Do-do-do-do-do-do.
I won't destroy your entire race. You'll go free.
Are you stupid? Your people didn't fight these bastards, so maybe you don't get it.
I'd like to have the Rachni on our side in the future.
Do what you want. My people will clean up this mess later, just like we did for the Solarians.
You will give us the chance to compose anew? We will remember. We will sing of your forgiveness to our children.
Great. Bugs are writing songs about you. Mark my words, you'll regret this.
How's this for a day? We brought... kind of pissed both of them off, didn't we? We brought along... we didn't have as much option for one of them as the other one, but we brought along Liara and Rex, which apparently were fantastic to be going along on this mission. I don't think I've ever brought Rex on this mission before, to an extent where, like, the implications of the whole Rex and, like, the Krogan Rachni thing was, like, something that I would tend to come to understand afterwards rather than during the mission, during the decision itself, but he weighs in pretty heavily if you bring him. And so these are actually probably the two most interesting characters to bring on this mission, because you have Liara because of her mother, and then you have Rex because of the whole Rachni Krogan conflict that informs your decision here. And interestingly, because you get the objectives at the same time, you can actually come here, take out Matriarch Benezia, do every other objective in the game, and then go get Liara last. She could be the last person you add to the group to help you understand your visions, and you can just tell her retroactively, oh yeah, we killed your mom. Awkward. Awkward. Let's take a lap. Everything's peaceful now, so let's see what I can grab around here. I think that was the Siren because of the... Yeah, the Siren was because of the release of the Rachni. Because that's obviously like the worst case scenario by this facility standards, that the Rachni Queen would escape. They're freaky. It pleads for its life, and it speaks of peace and so on, and it's hard to say if it means that or if it's another manipulative creature just like everybody else in the universe. But even then, you could argue they have just as much right to live as everybody else, because everyone else kind of sucks. Remember when the Salarian and the Volus were both trying to get me to kill the other one, basically? That was a fun time. So, maybe the aliens aren't so amazing in their own rights to be that much better. Can I not go back that way? Because that one was locked, right? Yeah, I have to go through this way, it looks like, which is not the way I came in. Also, a lot of level gain? Yeah, another 2 levels gained. So it looks like Shepard keeps getting 4 points per level, everyone else gets 2. I'm still gaining levels quickly, too. Okay. So I go deeper down Spectre Training if I want to, or go all the way down Decryption to Master Sabotage, which wouldn't hurt either. That'd be kind of nice. Could just put 4 points to Shotgun, which would give me Carnage, a fun ability. I might go that far. Let's do that. There we go. Another ability unlocked on my long list of abilities. They only get more absurd over time. 2 more points would give me Master Overload. Yeah. I like my unlocks when I get the chance. See, Barrier can take me towards Stasis. Another party member being able to use Stasis would certainly be helpful. Although I don't know which party members I'll use in the future. We're probably getting ready to rotate Rex and Liara out soon. I'll go down Barrier a little bit. It helps his defenses a bit since he doesn't have natural shields. He's the one person in my party that doesn't right now. Hey, look, Paragon went out ahead of Renegade now. This I expect Paragon to largely be higher than Renegade by the end of the playthrough. It's just this mission was... Whoa, I'm sliding. That was freaky. This mission's kind of front-loaded with Renegade options I'm not bothered by. I'm okay with playing roguish characters that are going to do like smuggling and some underhanded things, as opposed to the more horrible Renegade options, which are like, say, what Saren did. When Anderson lost his chance of becoming a Spectre, Saren got hundreds or maybe thousands of people killed to complete a mission. That's probably outside of the extent to which I'm going to go Renegade, which speaks to what I said before about how it's just not the same thing as good and evil. Okay, so we're back at the tram station now. So how are things looking back here? Really, he wants me to go to the Hot Lab now. Can I not even go this way? Yeah, I can't go this way now. So we have to go to the Hot Lab next. What's even going on with the journal at this point? You've dealt with the Matriarch, but there's still an issue of the Rachni down in the Hot Labs. Oh, right! I think I normally reach the Matriarch through the Hot Labs. I don't think I've ever taken this path before, actually. So, I haven't seen what happens in here yet. So there still are more mindless Rachni to get taken care of, and that has to be resolved before I can go anywhere else. I think they might be doing a few creative things with locked doors here and there to make sure I go the right direction. That don't necessarily fit the story, but it's a convenience. There we go. Yaroslav Tartakovsky. I think that's the same person we read the notes from earlier on.
Are you here to secure the situation?
If by secure you mean shoot every monster I see, sure.
I am certain you are having strong feelings. But what has happened here, it is our fault. You understand?
I don't understand anything yet. What were you doing here?
Binary Helix found an egg. It was on a derelict ship, thousands of years drifting. This was Rachni's ship. Inside they find many eggs in cryogenic suspension.
They brought it here to wake it up?
Binary Helix planned to clone Rachni, mass-produce them, create an army. But when they get here, they find this egg is not a common Rachni. It is a queen. After she lays eggs, they move her to Rift Station. They are thinking that without her, they can raise the babies to be obedient.
Hold on. Don't you need a male to get eggs?
Queens are born carrying the genetic code of their fathers. Eggs are carried away from the colony to hatch alone. Queens can lay eggs in hours and have a colony in days. This is how they spread so quickly.
Separating them from their mother didn't work.
This was exactly the wrong thing to do. I am thinking that without a queen, Rachni do not develop properly. Her mind is shaping theirs. These Rachni are uncontrollable.
This is fascinating, but we don't have time to chat.
These Rachni are beyond saving. It is a sad thing, but they must be euthanized. I am thinking that the neutron purge must be set off.
I'm not familiar with the purge system.
It creates bursts of neutron radiation, kills everything within the station. Things beyond get genetic damage of varying degree.
How do we set off the purge?
Arming controls are nearby. All you do is insert the key. Then I will give Mira destruct...
That's almost absurdly brutal. Like, there's a giant, like... It's like a fire extinguisher-sized hole in his chest. Like, he's just gone. Is it still there? Oh, yeah. He died virtually instantly at that point. There's nothing left. Well, we have purge codes. Concerning, though, a neutron purge? Wipe out everything in the station? Wouldn't that include the people upstairs? Look at this place, by the way. It's a detail. They made all that detail just for you to see through a window, because I don't think you're gonna see any of that up close. It's just a neat background detail. All right, well, we're not done here.